Recently, the lacrosse community has been set ablaze with two topics. The first discussion centered around the question, who's the best brother duo in lacrosse history? The second focused on the legacy Brennan O'Neill leaves behind at Duke University. Both of these discussions have sparked intense conversation, revealing the passion and dedication of the lacrosse community. The debate over the best brother duo in lacrosse history was kicked off on the Mitchell Pelkey Lacrosse Show when Dukes made a bold statement.
The Kavanaugh brothers are going to go down as the best duo in lacrosse history.
Okay, that's a whole different take. We're not even gonna.
No, they are.
No, I love that take. They're definitely up there, but they're not the best ever.
Who do you want to say? The Thompson brothers?
Yes.
Lyle Miles and Tom
Are you serious?
This
Cut the show early. Cut the show early. Cut the show early. Cut it early.
0 championships.
That statement certainly raised some eyebrows, but let's put a pin in it and we'll come back to it later. The online conversation surrounding Brennan O'Neill's legacy at Duke first began gaining traction a few weeks ago when Duke lost in the NCAA tournament and thus ended Brennan's college career. However, the discussion surrounding his legacy really kicked into high gear over the weekend after he exploded for 9 points, scoring 6 goals in the fourth quarter and overtime and effectively breaking PLL announcer Ryan Boyle's brain.
You're being more measured. I'm freaking out. I haven't seen a performance like that in a long time. For someone to come in as a rookie at his pro level, it wasn't like a cute, like a few goals and a few assists.
It
was
wasn't like
goal, two-pointer, goal, like, and the Archers knew it was coming.
This spectacular performance kicked off a series of debates about John Danowski, his coaching strategies, his son's coaching style, and Duke's inability to win a championship with Brennan O'Neill on the roster. Winning a championship is undeniably the ultimate goal in sports, and it is the reason why we keep score and don't just play for fun. But it's crucial to remember that a championship is a goal achieved by a team and not an individual. The conversation surrounding championships makes sense in a sport like basketball, where a single player can and often does radically change the course of a franchise. But in basketball, there are only 5 guys on the court, you play offense and defense, and you are on the court for an overwhelming majority of the game. However, in a sport like lacrosse, the dynamics are different. Lacrosse, much like soccer, or dare I say it, baseball, I feel dirty, requires a team's collective effort to win a championship. Consider the case of Mike Trout, inarguably one of the greatest baseball players we've ever seen. And yet, despite his illustrious career packed with numerous accolades, he has as many league MVP trophies as he does games in the playoffs. 3. And that's games played, not won, played. Similarly, Cole Palmer, a young midfielder for Chelsea Football Club in the Premier League, had an exceptional season this year. And yet, despite finishing second in the league with 22 goals and second in the league in assists with 11, thus giving him the overall lead for goal contributions, Chelsea finished a disappointing 6th. These instances and countless others highlight the fact that individual brilliance does not always equal team success. Remember our pin from earlier? Let's get back to that. Now, I'm not here to tell anyone who the best brother duo is. Everyone's going to have their own opinion based on personal preferences, experiences, and the players they got to see, especially the players they got to see while learning the game. I do, however, strongly believe that the argument supporting your choice should not solely hinge on championships won. Consider the Thompson brothers, Lyle and Miles. Lyle Thompson is perhaps the greatest lacrosse player to ever pick up a lacrosse stick. Despite Albany rarely making deep playoff runs, he broke the NCAA record for points by almost 20 points. He only scored less than 113 points in a season as a freshman. He has the first and third best single seasons for points in NCAA history, and he is the only back-to-back men's Tewaaraton Award winner. His brother Miles is one of the most efficient scorers we have ever seen. Miles holds the record for goals in a season with 82. To put that into context, and since this started with a comparison to the Kavanaughs, no Kavanaugh has ever scored more than 81 points. Chris, Pat, Matt, none of them. In 2014, Miles scored 82 goals. And that's not me throwing shade at the Kavanaughs. The Kavanaughs are great lacrosse players. It's just to illustrate how deadly Miles was with the ball in his stick. But because they didn't win a championship together, they're discounted in this debate. And it's not like they weren't doing their part when their team needed them. In perhaps the greatest game ever played, the 2014 NCAA quarterfinal between Lyle and Miles' Albany Great Danes and the eldest Kavanaugh brother, Matt's Notre Dame, Lyle led all scorers with 6 points on 3 goals and 3 assists, and Miles had 4 points on 3 goals and an assist. But Albany lost by 1, and the Thompsons' best chance to win a championship was gone. And that brings us to Brennan O'Neill, John Danowski, and Duke. The discourse now isn't just about the disappointment of Brennan O'Neill not winning a championship while at Duke, but rather it has morphed into a harsh criticism of John Danowski's coaching strategies. Like this guy on Twitter who tweeted, "O'Neill's performance last night exposes Danowski's poor coaching as of late. I cannot fathom how John didn't win a national championship with number 34. Tillman and Lars would have won 2 or 3 undoubtedly. Some online have even begun to call for John Danowski to be fired." These criticisms often stem from the prevailing notion that championships are the ultimate measure of success, and without them, on-field performance is deemed insignificant. But this overlooks the fact that there are 77 teams playing Division I men's lacrosse, and only one gets to end the season happily. When discussing what it takes to win a championship, I think Deemer Class, winner of 2 national championships, summed it up perfectly by saying that winning involves a myriad of factors: luck, skill, talent, the portal, recruiting, culture, coaching, injuries, getting hot. People are very quick to come for people's jobs when they have no idea of all that's been built over these years and how close or far teams actually were. People who are or have been in the arena know. You see, if not for one of the deepest and most talented teams we've ever seen in the 2023 and 2024 Notre Dame squads, Duke wins the championship last year and likely makes it to at least the championship game this year, if not wins the whole thing again. In 2021, they lost to a Maryland team that the following season would go undefeated and is now widely regarded as one of the best men's lacrosse teams of all time. Sometimes, no matter how good you are just Charles Barkley playing during the time of Michael Jordan. And that's not to say you can't be disappointed. I'm a Duke fan. Trust me, I'm disappointed. Again, that's what we play the game for. But I don't think that championships should be the only metric of success when evaluating lacrosse careers. Anyway, those are just my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below, and while you're at it, let me know your favorite player who never won a championship. Doesn't even have to be lacrosse. All right, that's all I got for you guys this week. See ya.